Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good Friday evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And what a nice day today following Thanksgiving. We did see lots of sunshine this morning. A few clouds rolling in now ahead of the next storm system that will make its way into our area. But for the most part, Black Friday shoppers pretty darn nice today. Here's where that change will come in Saturday afternoon and especially into Sunday. We could see rain and even some moderate snow in the mountain passes. The remainder of next week then we'll see some warm temperatures with once again another storm system moving in by this time next week. And we'll have your complete weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Chelan PUD have identified 18 of the 57 Norway spruce trees along Evergreen Drive in Cashmere as hazardous to the public. Small Business Saturday happens tomorrow in the Wenatchee Valley, and we'll take a look at area mountain passes as many of you will be traveling this weekend. But first, we begin tonight. A power outage occurred last night when a car hit a power pole in Cashmere. The Chelan County PUD posted to their Facebook page that 550 customers near the downtown area from the railroad tracks to the river were affected. The lights went out at around 10:45 p.m. and PUD crews quickly had power restored around midnight. Chelan PUD, working with the City of Cashmere maintenance crews, have identified 18 of the 57 Norway spruce trees along Evergreen Drive in Cashmere as hazardous to the public and to electrical and fiber infrastructure. The trees, anywhere from 60 to 80 feet in height, are approximately 85 years old. PUD Forestry Operations Manager Bill Sanborn fears a storm could cause the trees to come down and threaten public safety and electrical and fiber equipment. The PUD and the city plan to begin work next Wednesday, November 29th, if the weather allows. The crews estimate that it will take 4 to 5 days to remove all of the trees. Evergreen Drive will be closed during the duration of that tree removal, except to local residents. Take a look at what someone dropped off at the Wenatchee Police Department as a Thanksgiving gift for the officers who are on shift this holiday. The police department posted this to their Facebook page with this quote: "Officers are always on duty to fulfill our mission. We promote a safe community and a quality of life through protection and through service." Well, you may have shopped till you dropped for Black Friday today, but don't forget many local businesses are open for Small Business Saturday tomorrow. Small businesses help ensure local economies stay strong and vibrant. Shop locally to support our local business owners around North Central Washington this holiday season and maybe catch a few deals in that process. Well, for the most part this Thanksgiving holiday, our area passes have remained primarily wet, making for good travel conditions. But by late Saturday, as I mentioned, and into early Sunday night, when many travelers will be heading home, another storm system moves in on us, which will lower mountain snow levels and bring heavy amounts of rains at times for this weekend. And for the latest past conditions, go to the Washington Department of Transportation website at wasdot.com, and I will tell you more about the next storm system moving our way a little bit later on in our weather forecast. Coming up, 12th District Representative Carrie Condata analyzes the recent election and provides a preview of the upcoming 2018 legislative session. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
Hi, I'm Blair from Works, your workout prescription. Have you ever started an exercise program and then struggled to keep it going? So what if I told you that with this MyZone device, I could increase your chances of self-motivated exercise adherence by over 200%. Combine that with an exercise prescription specifically for your level of readiness, we'll increase it even more. And that's our new member success system. It's $99. It's exclusively at Works. It includes your MyZone belt. Works. YourWorkoutRx.com.
When it comes to tough, versatile workhorses, nothing compares to Kubota's full line of RTV series utility vehicles. Engineered to last and designed to deliver, Kubota's RTV X series doesn't just lead the way on rugged dependability, it leads the pack. From big jobs to small projects and daily chores. Choose from America's top-selling family of diesel utility vehicles to help you do it all.
The Kubota dealer in North Central Washington is Valley Tractor and Equipment in the Baker Flats Industrial Park, East Wenatchee.
Welcome back. In a recent sit-down with NCW Life News Director Steve Hare, 12th District Representative Carrie Condata analyzed the recent election and provided a preview of the upcoming 2018 legislative session.
Joining us right now on NCW Live is our 12th District State Representative, Carrie Condata, with the State House of Representatives. Carrie, just finished our election. Looks like there's a new dynamic in the legislature.
Yeah, there sure is.
It looks like the Democrats have taken control of the Senate, and now they have control of the House and the governor's mansion. So like I say, it's a new dynamic, but what's that's going to mean to the session coming up in January?
Well, I don't think it'll have a huge effect on the short session. We were just there for a couple of days, and frankly, most of the reps on both sides of the aisle want to get in, get out. I don't think they will be doing a lot. There'll be some shuffling with the base and throwing a few bills out there, you know, but I think the real change will be in 2019 if we don't capture the House. If we don't pick up that other seat or two in the House, then you will see a big change in 2019. So not too concerned about the short session, but very concerned going forward.
Is there a trickle-down Trump effect on the Republican Party?
Well, there is in some areas. That's what's interesting. In some areas, it's a big plus. We took the 19th district because of Trump. Because he had so much support down there, which is typically a Democrat district. We won that district as well as he did. But then you go into the Sammamish Highlands, where this 45th district just was, and it's the opposite. There's definitely a drag factor there. So it just depends on if you're outside the Seattle realm, it's pretty good. But if you're anywhere near Seattle, yeah, you have some issues. So you know that's a bit of an issue. But we think that'll change by next year too.
Well, technically, the legislature is still in session because you don't have a capital budget, and I know that the Republicans in the Senate and in the House are holding out hope that some resolution to the Hearst ruling will be made before that's done.
Well, the good news is that negotiations are back on for Hearst. The bad news is the three first proposals that came out were worse than the last three we've got. And I think there was this feeling that now we control all three chambers, so you're going to do what we want you to do. That's not going to happen. Both caucuses took a vote. There are no votes for the capital budget in the Senate or the House, so we are still at a standstill. You have to remember the House didn't change. It's still 50 votes. And the fact is there will be no capital budget until that Hearst decision is solved and in a manner that is respectable to the rural communities, because it's a big, big deal.
Another issue that's still not resolved, at least in the eyes of the state Supreme Court, that's education and McCleary.
Well, that was, again, good news and bad news. The good news was they said the overall program was fine, that it did satisfy McCleary, that they think it'll work out just fine, but we didn't move fast enough. It was a timing issue, and they want another $1 billion. I don't know where we come up with another $1 billion, because no tax program put into place would do it in time. In other words, we'd be back on the original timeline even if we added the $1 billion they wanted. So the only way you could potentially do that is through the emergency rainy day fund, and guess what? That requires 60 votes. That's not going to happen. So I think I've talked to a couple of Democrat friends that are high up in the Democrat ranks over there, and they told me, well, you know, likely we'll just kind of walk past this. I think we're going to go through the session. We'll probably have some saber rattling, but in the end, I think we stick with the original program. The original program, the more we look at it, it looks like it will work. It's just going to take a few years.
Well, you know, you and I were both sitting out at my desk watching the arguments that were being made before the Supreme Court.
Yes.
And I was kind of struck, really, by the lack of knowledge that the Supreme Court justices have in the actual budget process and how the legislature works.
Well, we've made this argument since the beginning that they really are stepping over the bounds of what the courts are supposed to do. But beyond that, you're right. It was shocking to hear them say, well, can we add $2 or $3 billion? Can we add $1 billion? And the Attorney General's person said, look, it's a supplemental budget. We don't make a new budget here. We have a supplemental budget. So one of them said, well, can we get $1 billion? And he basically said, no, I don't think so. And so it was interesting to see that exchange. It's like, how much can we get? Well, it looks to me like you're not going to get a lot more than what we've already done, which is huge. So I think we're going to go status quo. But we'll see. You never know till you get there.
Well, according to the latest revenue estimates, you're going to have a little more money to work with next year, huh?
It looks pretty steady. We're not seeing the big increases that we did, but the initial feeling is that it's steady. And I think we're solid, which is good. I was concerned, but it looks pretty good. If there's a little money, we've got some holes to fill yet. You know, McCleary kind of took all the oxygen out of the room. There's Public Works Trust Fund and other things that need to be backfilled that have not been done.
Well, there are a lot of things that are going on statewide, and of course, what happens in Congress affects us here.
Yes.
The health care reform is kind of died in terms of legislation at the federal level. But here we are in another enrollment period. Apparently, we're seeing a big increase in the number of people that are applying for health care insurance through the Affordable Care Act. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the problem is now with the folks that are paying for it, the rates have gone to a point where many are considering whether they're going to pay those rates. I know a local agent has told me she's seeing people drop insurance at a rate like she's never seen because they just aren't willing to pay the amount of money with the high deductibles that are coming down. This problem has to be resolved. And I hold the Republicans responsible as much as the Democrats because neither one has come up with a solution. The solutions are out there, by the way. There's lots of good ideas, but nobody seems to have the ability to move those ideas forward. We've got to get out of this cycle. This current program is going to collapse. We're going to have more uninsured people next year than we had originally if we don't change something.
Right. Tax reform.
Yeah.
Looks like Congress is at least making some headway on tax reform. The Republican have passed it in the House. Senate committee has passed it now, and they're reconciling the two versions of that bill. What is that going to mean for Washington State? Because obviously we're going to lose our sales tax deduction on our income taxes if this thing goes forward.
Well, but if you look at the other side, the rate changes and the other provisions, actually we should do fine. There is concern. We haven't seen the final version. We don't know what it's going to be because they're still reconciling. But in the end, I think we'll have a package that works. And I think it'll be okay for Washington. I think from the business standpoint, it could be very okay for Washington because business taxes here are so high compared to anywhere in the United States that any kind of a corporate tax cut is certainly going to help, particularly our small business, which we just discussed on our other show, the 12th District, the other day. So I think it's got some merit. I think we'll have to see the final version, but they better pass something. But I just want to see them get back to health care. And I hope that they put some of the health care pieces in there. The individual mandate coming out would be a big relief to a lot of people. And if they can get that in the tax reform package and get a piece that works good, it'll be a big win for these guys. They need one.
Kerry Condata joining us here on NCW Live News. Of course, your new program, the 12th District, has taken off. I've watched a couple of the programs and some interesting guests.
We've had some great interviews, and of course it's on demand now, so you can go back and look at the early shows. We're getting better. The early shows were a little rough, but they're getting better, and we've got some great ones coming up. We've got Bitcoin coming up, discussion on Bitcoin. The Small Business Show will be out in a week or two, and then we're going to have some fun and review some of these shows at the end of the month. And of course, we go live to Olympia, which is really going to be exciting. You'll get direct live reports every week from Olympia in the session.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us, Kerry, with an update, and hey, good luck to you going forward.
Thank you so much. Good to be with you.
You bet. I'm Steve Hare for NCW Life News.
You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan Mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community.
See us at the Plaza in Chelan for all your holiday needs.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
Happy finally Friday. The high school fall sports season isn't quite done in Washington as the WIAA state football playoffs are into their semifinals coming up tomorrow. So we'll take a look at it, starting with the 1Bs. Elmira Cooley Heartline travels to Civic Stadium in Bellingham to face the Lummi Nation at 1 o'clock. Odessa and Sunnyside Christian play the other semi 4 o'clock at Pasco's Edgar Brown Stadium. And the 2B Gonzaga Prep is the site for Asotin and Liberty at 3 o'clock. Kalama and Napavine will face off in Centralia High School at 7 o'clock. 1A, after demolishing Okanagan last week, Royal hopes to continue a roll against Newport at Moses Lakes Lions Field tomorrow at 1 o'clock. La Center and Meridian play in the other 1A semifinal at Civic Stadium at 4. Turning to the 2A championships semifinals, Hawkinson plays West Valley of Spokane at Gonzaga Prep tomorrow at noon. The all-powerful Archbishop Murphy faces Tumwater at Spark Stadium in Puyallup, also at noon. 3A at Pop Keeney Stadium in Seattle. Bellevue and O'Day play at noon, followed by Garfield and Rainier Beach at 5. The 4A, Central Valley and Richland meet at Edgar Brown Stadium tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, while Woodinville faces Sumner at Spark Stadium at 5. The Wenatchee Wild are back at it in BCHL action tonight after a 2-1 win to start the homestand on Wednesday over Vernon. Wenatchee hosts Chilliwack tonight at 7:05. Now, if you missed it the other night, here are some of the highlights of the Wild's win as called by our friend Arch Ecker in the Wolves' Den.
So here we go. We're underway as Souter sends it to the left point for Zek. Snap down for Vanderbeck and then backhanded in and a wraparound attempt. Score! Lucas Souter came around from behind the net and slipped it right through the wickets on Yamnitsky. We're just 19 seconds into the game, and the Wild have jumped out to a 1-0 lead. He'll pick it up, snaps it back to the point for Ufberg. Shot blocked on the way through. Rebound, shot, and a score. And the Vipers have tied it up. Just on the ice on the change. And Slava Demon comes through. Come on, Mokatari just put a shoulder into Park that time. That was as evident as you'll see of a goaltender interference. Mokatari wasn't even trying. He specifically went out of his way to put his shoulder into Park. The referee's calling it. So he'll go to the box and get the 2 minutes for goaltender interference. And there's nothing to argue about. Back behind the net, Weatherby tries to take it away, snaps it right out front. Demon shoots, he scores! Slava Demon rips the shot from between the circles. Jasper Weatherby has got the crowd to jump to their feet with a shot that missed a moment ago, but fought for it back behind the net, threw it out in front for Slava Demon. And Demon blisters it upstairs. Can't clear. Held over the right side. Shot blocked on the way through by Arnold. A huge shot blocked by Josh Arnold. And the Vipers have to regroup. They'll dump it back in. And that's the horn. So the Wenatchee Wild pick up the win.
So the game tonight at 7, tomorrow night 7 o'clock, chance to donate to the Les Schwab Toy Drive tomorrow as well. In college football this weekend, Central Washington starts the College Football Division II playoffs tomorrow in Ellensburg against Texas A&M Commerce, while the Big Apple Cup tomorrow at 5 o'clock will be on Fox between Washington State and Washington. That's sports. Grant, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. You may have seen a few bell ringers out at our local stores already as the Salvation Army gears up for its annual Red Kettle Drive. Mayor Ralph Jimenez stopped by Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz this morning to talk a little bit about the origins of the donation drive and how you can become a volunteer.
Well, there's no question the highest profile thing that the Salvation Army does every year is the Kettle Drive, the Red Kettle Drive, and the bell ringers and all that stuff. Give me the history of that. I tried to do a little internet research on it, and I didn't get very far. Can you help me out?
Well, the late 1800s in actually Oakland, California. One of the officers there, who happened to come over from England, had decided to put it was very, I guess there was in the late 1800s, there was sort of a depression, and they were looking to help people in the community, and he had remembered that in England that they had put out a pot over by the docks. So he took one down to the docks. It was just a regular, like a cauldron type pot, and tried that, and as the sailors were getting off the ships, they would put money into the pot. And once he started doing it, he kept doing it for years, and it just caught on within the Salvation Army, and it just grew. And it did begin in the Salvation Army in Oakland, California, and then now it's I don't know where it's at throughout the world, but it did start there in Oakland, and late 1800s, 1890s, I believe, when it started, and yeah, and that's been the biggest fundraiser for a lot of the Salvation Armies in the United States. We always love to have volunteers, and you can call us at the Salvation Army to set that up, and it really helps. It really helps us because I don't know if most people know that money does stay here in Wenatchee, and it helps the people in our community. So.
We'll be back in just a moment with a recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Honey, I got the space heater.
Make sure you survive winter. Call Central Washington Heating and Air before it's too late. This winter, don't get shocked by the cold. Call Central Washington Heating and Air today.
Time for a recap of some of our top stories now. Take a look at what happened when someone dropped off at the Wenatchee Police Department as a Thanksgiving gift for the officers who were on shift this holiday. The police department posted this to their Facebook page with this quote: "Officers are always on duty to fulfill our mission. We promote a safe community and quality of life through protection and through service." Nice gift there. You may have shopped till you dropped for Black Friday today, but don't forget many local businesses are open for Small Business Saturday tomorrow. Small businesses help ensure local economies stay strong and vibrant. Shop locally to support our local business owners around North Central Washington this holiday season, and maybe catch a few deals in the process. Well, for the most part this Thanksgiving holiday, our area passes have remained primarily wet, making for excellent travel conditions. But by late Saturday and into Saturday night, when travelers will be heading home, another storm system moves in on us, which will lower mountain snow levels and bring heavy amounts of rain at times. For the latest past conditions, go to the Washington Department of Transportation website at wasdot.com. And now your weather forecast for North Central Washington. After we've seen a gorgeous day out there today, checking our weather window, it was a nice one with temperatures mainly into the lower 50s today after 55 for our Thanksgiving high yesterday. Lots of travelers out there today, and the weather made for some great travel around Washington. We are seeing a strong westerly flow that's over the Pacific Northwest today. One low pressure is moving away from the area. That's what brought us the rain yesterday and on Wednesday. And another area of low pressure, you can see it just off the British Columbia coast. That will approach the Pacific from the west as we move into tomorrow. We will see drier air throughout the day today and tonight, but that stable flow of air will begin to buckle tonight and Saturday morning, as I mentioned, as that next weather system sets up in the eastern Pacific. By Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, the flow will be back to the southwest, and as that upper level low slides into western Washington, we will see, once again, it will tap into that deeper subtropical moisture. You can see that moving up from the southwest, and we will see some decent amounts of rain. The weather conditions, by the way, for the Apple Cup on Saturday in Seattle will be very wet and chilly. In the period then from Saturday afternoon to Sunday night, we could see upwards of 1/4 to 1/2 inch of precipitation in the Wenatchee Valley. Temperatures will cool back to our average for late November of about 40 degrees by next week, with drier and breezier conditions before another round of moisture heads our way by the end of next week. Let's take a look at that forecast now. Tonight will drop down, can you believe that, low 43 degrees overnight with cloudy skies. Tomorrow, yeah, another rainy one. We'll see about a 60 to 70% chance of rain throughout Saturday and into Saturday night. 43 your high on Saturday. More rain on Sunday, tapering off on Sunday night with 47 expected. And as we kick off our next work week, mostly cloudy skies and 45, maybe a stray shower on Tuesday. And then we begin a cool down as the storm system moves down from the north by the end of the week. Thursday, we might even be seeing snow showers late in the day with highs by then right around 41 degrees. And we leave you tonight with a video from elk country, where this couple decided to use what drops to the ground around them each winter to make a unique Christmas tree. Holy shad! If you have a video of the day you'd like to see on NCW Life News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, make sure you tune into NCW Life Channel Monday morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and all the latest news with Steve Hare. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
Weekly. For the newest tech, coolest tech, and the craziest tech stories available on the interwebs, tune in for your weekly tech update right here on the NCW Life channel.
Thursday night, hockey night on the NCW Life channel.
It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with a voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is Hockey Night on the NCW Life Channel.